Alright guys, Bludgeon Boy here to play some Ratchet and Clank 3. We're finally back to Ratchet and Clank. I am excited as fuck for this. I don't know why, I'm just longing for some Ratchet and Clank, really. I don't know why I'm going load game. I did that in the first episode of Ratchet and Clank 2 LP. Why am I doing that? New game. New game. Alright. So, for this LP, we're going to be doing the same challenges as I did last time. We're going to be making them official. They're proper challenges that I now cannot possibly evade. I'll even put them on the screen in a font. I don't know how I'm supposed to put them on the screen without a font, but I'll do it with a font just to aid myself in conveying this information to you. So, no armour is to be purchased at any point during the game. I am to get from the start of the game to the finish of the game, the end of the game, without buying any armour upgrades at all, ever. And secondly, if a weapon gets to version 5, I am only to use it in emergency situations where I'm out of ammo for every other suitable weapon. Because weapons in this game can upgrade to multiple versions, so if I restricted myself to only using weapons in the lowest version, I might be making things a little bit too hard. But yeah, once it gets to version 5, emergency use only. I don't know. I'm just hyped for this. I'm just like, it's Ratchet and Clank. It's here. It's in front of me. Like it's like I haven't played it in a year. Has been about a year since this was released, so that's the only thing that sucks about it is that the multiplayer for this died. Like the online population died very quickly, so I can't play any more multiplayer with it. I have to wait for Deadlock to do that. I will do a Deadlocked video when it comes out, like I did for Ratchet and Clank 3. Want some multiplayer. Though don't be surprised if I suck at it. Speaking of sucking at things, I've been on Reddit lately. Like, I started off just looking at stuff. I'm like, I can post stuff to this too. And there's like a subreddit called Stand-Up Shots. I'm like, that's perfect for me. I can test out material there and stuff. So I posted material. When you post stuff to Reddit though, you have to deal with downvotes. Like, there is nothing that has ever been posted that has not been downvoted at least somewhat. I rarely see posts above an 80% ratio of upvotes to downvotes. It's not like here on YouTube where people only dislike stuff if they really don't like it. Or if they're just haters, you know, like I almost never get dislikes over here, so you gotta be used to it. I kind of felt like judged, but I mean, that's the point, that's what Reddit is. As they say, it's a democracy, so you gotta deal with criticism. But I think I get some pretty good responses though. Some people are helpful and constructive, some are just dicks. Like I posted like my first stand-up shot and someone wanted to post it to a subreddit called Cringe Pics. I'm like, why? Why does this make you cringe at all? Like, what? Also, let's listen to this. Anyone who has played Ratchet and Clank 3 on the PS2 will be thinking, what the fuck is up with those sound effects? Why aren't they synced to the right ship animation? The answer is I don't know. But it's bad. Okay, first off, oh, is this how it's supposed to? I'm always getting confused with the left and right camera controls. I can never remember if I play better with them inverted or normal. I don't know. But we want lock strafe, because lock strafe is amazing. I'm not sure at this point which one I'm going to use. I think we'll just stick with normal for now, and we'll switch it later on. And also put that right up the top. That's better. But I love the atheism subreddit. That is like my favorite subreddit because it's just all the logic is there. It's so much fun. The only problem with it is, because I think this is a problem with the internet in general, just hypermedia, and the fact that we can just see so much stuff now in so little time, that you can get bored with it. And there's that ever-increasing problem of, oh, I've seen that. Why is someone reposting this? I've seen it. I've seen this. And people don't post content like fast enough for me to look at new stuff in like a couple of hours. Like if I go on a subreddit, I can read everything within 5 to 10 minutes, and then I really have to wait until the next day to get another 5 to 10 minutes worth of content, and I'm impatient. That's one thing with the internet, it makes you really impatient. With broadband anyway. I remember when I had dial-up, back when I was like fucking 12, 13, 14, and I would watch pornography on it, because that's what you do as a 13-year-old with internet access. It would take like 5, sometimes even 10 to 15 minutes to download 15-second previews. And there was no such thing, or not that there was no such thing as a streaming site at that time. There was. That was about 2006, 2007. But my internet was so bad, it wouldn't stream the video. It'd stream like a few seconds, and then it would deem your connection too shitty to stream the video properly, so it would just stop. Oh man. I also remember that's when I used to go into my mum's work to download stuff, because they had like 10 megabits per second broadband in there, and I would download pirated shit. I would download pirated games off of a government-funded connection where my mother worked. In retrospect, that is such a bad idea, but I never got caught for it. I never got, like, they evidently don't look at what you're downloading. What made me laugh is I used a site called Mega Upload, the site that was taken down at the beginning of 2012 when all that SOPA stuff was going on. Not that that fight has finished, by the way. There's still CISFA that we're going to deal with. Go read up on that. Horrible, but on Mega Upload, you can only download one file at a time from the IP address, but the IP address was for like the entire building, right? It was for the entire building. One IP address. Or maybe a couple, but it wasn't like one IP address per desk. You know, it was either one IP address or only a couple of IP addresses for the building. I'd say it was only one. So, what amused me is that I figured I was the only person downloading stuff from Mega Upload, and everyone else was using their computer to do work. But I remember quite a few times I'd go to download something and it would say, "You're already downloading something," when I wasn't downloading anything, which meant someone else in that building was downloading stuff from Mega Upload. So I wasn't the only one using the government connection to pirate stuff. Someone else was too. Good times though, good times. Dial-up, but yeah, when I had dial-up, I was patient. I remember I discovered a few sites that had like zip files of porno videos, and I'd wait like I remember it was 100 megs. Was it 100? No, it was 100 meg. It was 20 megs in 5 hours. No, 20 megs per hour. It was 100 megs in 5 hours. Yeah, it was 20 megs per hour. The speed. It was 5.5 kilobytes per second. So it was 50 kilobits per second dial-up connection. So it was 20 megs an hour, 100 megs in 5 hours. I remember downloading like 60, 70 megs files and waiting for them. And so I'd like open the incomplete file and watch the stuff that had been downloaded just to, satisfy myself for the meantime. But back when you had dial-up, you had to learn patience. Now, no. Patience is a dying virtue. Although tolerance is in some ways it's a growing virtue, in some ways it's a dying one. Because I mentioned the atheism subreddit before, and I read a story on there about an Australian university magazine in another state that I don't go to. And they had this satirical cartoon on Islam. And it was about how women are subjugated and treated as inferior in Islam. And the Quran makes this very clear. It's not like the Bible where you can kind of cherry pick and go, oh, over here it says this, but over here it says this other thing. It's like in the first book of the Quran. It makes it very clear that women are inferior. It spells it out in black and white. It's not even trying to be ambiguous. So, you know, it's hardly well, not that it's not controversial, but it's hardly an issue you could argue against, or a stance you could argue against. It really is an open secret. And the magazine posted a satirical article pointing this out, and then it got removed from the magazine because the vice-chancellor of the university went, "We don't want to provoke Muslims into violent outbursts." They removed it because they cited the risk of violence. Dead fucking serious. So what they've basically said is, we don't want to criticize Muslims because they're fucking Fruit Loops. And they'll just kill people if they see this. One, it's a student magazine. It's one little cartoon. I know that they're reactionaries. A lot of Muslims are reactionaries, and their reactionaries are worse than Christian reactionaries. The Innocence of Muslims film last year proved that beyond a shadow of a fucking doubt. To say that there are not Muslim radicals is to be living under a rock with your head up your ass. And you are totally wrong. But what gets me is the censorship of it has now dealt Islam not one smack upside the head, but two. So, because not only have they been told that they subjugate women, or that their religion promotes the subjugation of women, but now they've also been called violent radicals. So the Vice-Chancellor has just dealt his own form of criticism by removing the existing criticism, so he's a fucking idiot by just saying more shit that will cause violence. And what gets me is, will I do this level as well? Hold on, let me just check the recording time, because I thought I was going to do 1:13? Eh, fuck it, we'll have an extended first episode, fuck it. Let's keep going. Yeah, he's kind of, I think that's a double standard, that he gets to criticize Islam but students don't. And people going, you know, his job as the Vice-Chancellor is to protect the student body. He shouldn't be, yeah, he made the right decision in doing what he did. I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, they're allowed to criticize Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, any other religion they've been freely allowed to criticize in this magazine. But this one comic about Islam, ooh, that'll get them going. And don't act like there aren't Christian terrorists, there are. There are Christians who kill abortion, doctors, and they, I mean, some of them even join the army and go to kill Muslims in Iraq and Afghanistan. In a way, you could look at that as Christian terrorism, given that the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq were both ordered by Bush and the Republican Party, who are very much a Christian organization. Whoops, shit. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. The point is that there are Christian terrorists as well. I mean, to quote Bill Maher, or to paraphrase Bill Maher, the Muslim crazies are the real crazies. Like, the Christian crazies are bad, but the Muslim crazies are worse. I'll agree with you, and I guess to some extent he was protecting people, but I mean, anything can cause offense. Anything. And I don't believe in censoring stuff. At all. Especially not for this. This just proves the fucking point. If anything, it's ridiculous. To me. But what it got me thinking about, because I want to do stand-up at my uni, right? And anyone who listens to me knows I'm no stranger to talking about controversial stuff and religion. I love talking about that. I love having an open forum to do so. But am I going to get censored by my university when I do stuff about Islam? Not that I have much material on Islam, I really don't. to quote Dara Brian, I don't do material on Muslims because I don't know a fucking thing about Muslims, and neither do you. So I have to do my research before I do stuff on Islam and the Quran, and I wouldn't really be into name calling and stuff like that, just because I think it's a bit immature. I posted something on Reddit today, and there was this picture. I might put it up on the screen. It said something to the... Ooh, it's not this one. It said something to the effect of... Women find love in marriage. Guys find love in sex. Society finds love at social events. But where you really find love is Jesus. It was some stupid thing that a Christian friend of mine liked on Facebook, so I downloaded it, annotated it, and put it on Reddit. And I think I said, what was it? I forget. I said, oh yeah, finding love in wanting to marry someone you want to continue loving makes perfect sense. Finding love in an act called lovemaking makes perfect sense. Finding love by meeting someone at a social event where you have similar interests makes perfect sense. Finding love in some Jew being nailed to a cross to forgive us for, supposedly to forgive us for things that we never actually did, makes no sense. And the pictures, it had pictures under each of those subtitles. For the picture of girls find love in marriage, it said like girls find love in this, and had a picture of a guy with a wedding ring proposing to her. For the society one, it just had a picture of a party, like society finds love in this, below a picture of a party. For the Jesus one, it said, well, you'll actually find love in this, and it had a picture of Jesus on the cross. For the sex one though, it just had guys find love in this. But it didn't have a picture of sex or anything sexual, it just had the word sex written on a piece of sticky tape or something. So apparently the person who wrote this is so stupid, they can't find a picture of sex on the internet. And that was my final line. But I didn't write that, I wrote, evangelicals are so stupid, they can't find a picture of sex on the internet. And someone went, you kind of fucked up with that last line, calling all evangelicals stupid for that. Way to create reasonable dialogue, you jackass. I'm like, I guess he's got a point. I shouldn't be doing that. It is name calling. Or generalizing, rather. My point still stands. The person who wrote that is so stupid they can't find a picture of sex on the internet. Granted, it was on Facebook, so if you posted a picture of something sexually explicit, it would get taken down. But could you really not find a picture of a couple hugging, or kissing, or in bed together with the sheets up to their neck? Like, it's not... Now, even a picture of a fucking photogenic woman would get across, with the subtitle, Boys Find Love in This, would get across the fact that men like sex. It's not hard. Fucking Google image search, 5 seconds, you'd find something appropriate. It's stupid.
We have company.
Where?
Behind you.
Where?
So yeah.
Behind you.
I wouldn't generalize like that again if I could avoid it. But when there's evidence to back up your stats, it's, you know, when you see women being subjugated in Islam all over the place, like women not being allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia at all. There was a woman, I read a story about an Australian woman who went to the United Arab Emirates, and she was raped by 4 men at her workplace, and because that counts as having sex outside of marriage, which is illegal in the UAE, she was arrested and put into prison for a year. Over here, that's fucking insane, but over there, that's the norm. The rapists were also arrested and put in jail for a year, which is a fucking lenient sentence, really. But it's just a matter of, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? So yeah, I would avoid generalizing if I could, but there's this stuff in the Quran that's really abhorrent. But what got me thinking was, if I did stand up at my university and did stuff on Islam, how would my university react? Because you can't exactly pull it out of a student magazine, and if I filmed it and uploaded it to YouTube on my own channel, they can't take it down. It's because it's my own channel. It's not hate speech, it's criticism, right? There's nothing they can do about it. And I'm putting my name to it and my face to it. Not like the author of the article in this magazine that got censored, I suppose. Crap. So there's a skill point got to get for getting through that without getting hurt, but I guess I don't have it yet. As I was saying, how'd it go at my university, given that they wouldn't be able to control the content once it had been said. You know, they can't take back a stand-up act. And if I videotaped it and put it on YouTube, they could do nothing about it. But what got me more interested was the fact that my university has a campus in Dubai, which is in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, where Islam is the state religion. So if the Australian National University in Canberra is going to censor a student magazine just for the possibility of Islamic violence, what would my university do, given that they have a business partnership in an Islamic country? I'm really curious. Like, I don't want to go on a spiel about Islam. Like, oh, Muslims are a bunch of faggots. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's immature, right? It's not constructive. It doesn't create a dialogue. It's stupid. But they deserve to be called out for their bullshit. Absolutely. It's silly to me that they're going to censor, they're going to prefer one religion over another. It's garbage. And I mean, it's not like they effectively censored it anyway, because the image was leaked. They had a picture of the image. Like a photograph. Someone screen capped it, took a picture of it in the magazine and uploaded it, so we can see it. You haven't censored anything. You've totally failed to actually censor it. And now that it's on Reddit, instead of just your pissy little student magazine, more people are going to see it. There's a name for that, and I forget what it is. It's something about if it's like someone put their like house up on the internet and they took the image down, but then the image turned up everywhere. I forget who it is. It's named after someone. But yeah, I think that's so bullshit. But it makes me want to do controversial material at my uni just to see how people would react. Thankfully, there's a secular society at my university who could help me with both research and just backing me up if it turned into like a debate. So I think that'd be cool. That'd be fun. But in any case, I think this video's dragged on long enough. And I'll, hopefully you guys enjoy this new series, Ratchet and Clank. It's back, it's kicking. And I'll catch you guys later.